Hi there, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Eric Chilton with Monique Robinson and Lauren Coleman.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 4 to 5 on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. So, Monique, it was a beautiful day outside. Lots of sunshine, but that's not going to last for long, right?
Yeah, certainly not. When I woke up this morning and I was just scrolling on my social media, I saw so many images of severe weather elsewhere, and a lot of that stuff is actually headed our way.
Okay.
Right now, the severe weather outbreak is crossing over Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. It arrived in the lower Mississippi Valley this morning after a powerful line of tornadoes went through Texas and Oklahoma last night. Now take a look at this video. You can see this damage. I mean, oh my goodness, just look at it. The rains, the crazy winds destroyed dozens of homes. And even here, one driver in a Texas town struggled to keep control after wind flipped their van over on its side.
And there was a tornado right outside my window coming right for the van. So I grabbed my stuff as fast as I could and just sprinted inside within seconds, I think, of the tornado tearing through this parking lot.
So that same storm is headed our way, but it's been nice for today. It's hard to believe that all this active weather is actually making its way towards the coast, but you can see this strong line of storms, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are those yellow boxes. And then if you look closely here, there's also those red boxes, those polygons showing you those tornado warnings. I want you to get real familiar with what you see on here, because not necessarily expecting all of this activity here in our area for tomorrow, but we could be seeing some of it. And especially as we continue throughout this spring season, we could be seeing more active weather, which means more yellow boxes and more red boxes, which means you need to know every time one of these two pop up on our radar. So zooming in a little bit closer, like I said, those red polygons showing you those tornado warnings as well as these severe thunderstorm warnings. And they're bowing out. They kind of have a curve shape there, which is a strong indication of very strong winds at the surface. That's what we're expecting as this line continues to move towards our area, that bowing out. Now, this is a look at what the Storm Prediction Center has for today. This red box here is showing you a moderate level, which is level 4. Now, we're not expecting that for tomorrow. In fact, we're expecting a slight risk for your Wednesday, which is level 2, but that is half that, which means we still have a severe weather threat for tomorrow. We're talking isolated strong to even severe thunderstorms across our area. The main things you need to know tomorrow in the afternoon, evening, late day, kind of after lunchtime before 7 p.m. That is the time where our severe weather threat increases. Damaging winds, and can't rule out the possibility of a few isolated tornadoes. At least 1 or 2 are possible as we go throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Overall, what you need to do today, be weather ready. Have a plan in place and know how to get those alerts, whether it's on your phone or maybe you're tuning into our broadcast through the evening. But always stay weather aware. Stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close by and easy to download from either the Apple or Google Play Store. There you have the latest details right in the palm of your hand.
Thank you, Monique. New at 4, one Triad City is getting a $10 million infrastructure boost. Today, Greensboro Mayor Nancy Vaughn held a news conference detailing new city upgrades. The city plans on purchasing new buses, revamping the 911 dispatch system, and more. The money behind the project comes from federal grant funds. We'll have more on the new installments coming up at 5.
And happening right now, a hiring event is working to fill child care positions all across the Triad. This is video of the Kinder Mission Academy Career Fair on Rehoboth Church Road in Greensboro. The event kicked off a few minutes ago. This will run until 7 tonight. Now, organizers are on site right now. They're helping child care workers find much needed jobs. Again, that event until 7 o'clock tonight. Our WFMY News 2 crews are on the scene covering this. Stick with us as we dive a little deeper into child care staffing issues. That's coming up at 5. Looking ahead, there's another opportunity for people searching for jobs in the Triad. This Friday, mark your calendars, the city of Winston-Salem is holding a hiring event at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Education Building there. They've got more than 100 positions to fill across several different departments. That event starts at 9 a.m. It ends at 4 p.m. Candidates are being asked to bring their ID and, of course, a resume. For more hiring help, just head to WFMYnews2.com. Look under our Ready to Hire section. There you'll find the latest on Triad employment opportunities.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, officers are investigating after they say someone shot a woman in the chest. Gibsonville police responded to Guilford Green Apartments Monday afternoon. That's where they found the 24-year-old with gunshot wounds. The woman was taken to a hospital. We're working to learn more on her condition. Police conducted several interviews at the scene but have not made any arrests. The Guilford County Health Department is expanding its overdose prevention program. It is now offering free naloxone kits to anyone who needs them. No questions asked. Naloxone is the generic drug for the overdose medicine Narcan. For more on distribution centers and how to know if someone is having an overdose, head on over to savealifeguilford.com. New at 4, the CDC updated its COVID wastewater tracker and Guilford County levels. They're looking pretty good here. Here is where we stand now. You can see Guilford circled in red. The orange dot means waste that the testing site only coming back positive 1 to 9% of the time. Researchers track COVID and waste as a way to constantly monitor the spread of the virus. This chart is updated every 15 days. Now let's turn to another way the state tracks COVID spread. This graph here shows the percentage of tests coming back positive. The latest number is 2.9%. It's in line with the last several days. In fact, we haven't seen a number that's been above the state's goal of 5% in 2 weeks. That's a major improvement, folks, considering just 2 months ago, we were seeing numbers as high as 33%. Back then, about 1 in 3 tests were coming back positive. Now it's closer to 1 in 50 tests. We'll be right back.
I'm talking about being goofy today. Oh, I have an echo in my ear. Yes.
In case you didn't know, today is National Goof Off Day. I had never heard of this before. A time to remember to live a little, have fun, and be a little silly too. You picked the right guy to read this script. Joining me now is Blanca Cobb, who has a master's degree in psychology. Blanca, do we really need a day to remember, for us to remember to goof off? Having some trouble with the audio there with Blanca, so we'll get back to this in just a little bit. Right now, we'll head over to Lauren and see what's happening over there.
All right, so it is Goof Off Day. You know, here on the 4 to 5, we love to crack a joke or two. So I asked you on Facebook, what's your favorite joke to tell? A lot of says, I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was the refrigerator all along. I'm going to use that excuse. Justin Rome wrote, if April showers bring May flowers, what do flowers bring? Pilgrims. Ha ha. Yes. Eric Chilton says, this is my step ladder. I never knew my real ladder. And then Frederick Ray says, why did the chicken cross the road? That's a common joke. A lot of people say.
My 8-year-old came to the, almost 9 now, came to the dinner table the other night we were doing dad jokes, and she said, why'd the chicken cross the road? And then she went, because.
No, I haven't heard that response.
I love that one.
Aw, so
I don't
cute.
have any jokes.
I was thinking you were going to have a ton of them.
No, I've been like thinking actually all day. I was going to text my dad, but I got busy. And I was like, I don't have one.
I have one. Where do boats go when they're sick?
Where?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of something that has to do with
To
the
the boat dock. Get it?
Oh, Doc. I love dad jokes. Love that.
I saw a joke that wasn't a dad joke.
That's a good
I
one.
have one. Not a dad joke.
Okay.
It's more of my grandma's joke. And
Okay.
my grandma has interesting jokes. So she was driving to church when it was around the time of Ash Wednesday. And you know those signs that they have outside of churches that have like messages on them?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So she called me up and it said, get your ash in church.
Oh, I like that little spice. You can be spicy in church. I like that. Get your ash in church.
Well, there was one church. A lot of churches do that. They just put. Sometimes they're not even necessarily inspirational, just funny.
Yeah,
right?
funny ones.
And
Yeah.
the one said, "This sign is in Spanish when you're not looking," and I loved that because it makes you think. Like, wait a minute. It just took Monique about 3 seconds for that to get through.
I'm still trying to understand it.
That's why I'm laughing. We're like, question mark.
You know, everybody's going like trying to catch it when it's in Spanish. This sign is in Spanish when you're not looking, because you'll never know if it is or not.
Oh, got it. We needed the acted out part.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, that's right. We need Coach Lamont here to
Yeah,
save
we
the day.
do.
Yeah, we do. All right, this week on U Day, Coach Lamont is taking a look back at some of his favorite messages today. He's reflecting on his battle with mental illness, but the idea of getting in your own way. Take a look.
Ladies, can I be transparent? Okay, it seemed at a time in my life where every day I was beating myself up. I was self-sabotaging myself. Every opportunity that came, I pushed that opportunity away. I would say to myself, you're not good enough, you're not qualified. Why would you even attempt to do that thing? And then one day, I had a conversation with myself. And I said to myself, you know what, Lamont, no more. Why continue to miss out on opportunities that were created specifically for you? And that's when I discovered that I had in your wayitis. In your wayitis is when we're constantly creating roadblocks that keep us from living our best everyday life. And it was at that moment I said, no more. I'm not going to get in my way anymore. There are enough people in this world willing to throw bricks at me. I'm not going to help them. So I began to partner with myself instead of treating myself like my worst enemy. And it was then that I knew that I could live my best life. So for everyone that's listening too, you can live your best life too, just like these ladies can, and just like I decided to. This is your coach, Coach Lamont, reminding you that today is your you day. Go out and live it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Getting in your own way. I feel like that's something we've all been guilty of. I know I have.
Absolutely. I love that saying when someone, I've always heard when somebody says they can't get out of their own way. Took me a minute to think about it back in the day, like what does that mean? It means because you're your own worst enemy sometimes.
Right. The visions and ideas that you have in you are expected for you to achieve them. And so oftentimes when we look at ourselves, we're like, well, I can't do that. Well, there's a reason why you have that vision and your idea. You're the only one stopping you from reaching those goals. I don't have the same dreams as you, and there's a reason why God planted them in your mind.
And you have to trust the process. Okay, I'm about to bring you back to church. I always feel like God is working. He's always doing something. We might not be able to see it, but he's working, and he's shown us time and time again, at least he's shown me, that I'm gonna get through the other side. Like in the fight, you kind of feel like, you know, I don't have control of this situation, but he's shown you time and time again that you can get to the other side. So sometimes you have to just let the process play out, do the best that you can do with the resources that you have, and know that you will get to the other side, because no matter what situation you're in, you're gonna have problems.
Yes.
And you, what you think is your end goal may not be the best for you.
Yeah, to trust the process.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta let go.
Yeah, let
And
go
let
and let
God.
God.
That's it. That's the way it works. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Yes, take two. I'm talking about why we should be goofy. So get your goof on. Yep. Okay, thank you.
All across the deep south, we're seeing reports of tornadoes, hail, and even looking at strong wind reports with wind damage. And as we go throughout the day, Wednesday, we're also looking like that we'll see some of those effects here. This Futurecast kind of painting the picture over the next several hours as to what you can expect. So increasing clouds for the start of your Wednesday, starting off as rain. And then as we continue throughout the day, we're going to continue to see some scattered showers and storms across our areas, some of which being very strong and even severe. Things clearing out early Tuesday, could see another round of a few showers early in the day, lingering behind the brunt of the system. Now, I also talked about winds being something of concern. Now, one particular model kind of upwards on this trend of nearly 40-mile-per-hour winds as a whole with the system moving through. Not talking about localized stronger gusts that can be associated with a particular storm. It's really important to distinguish the two. There will be strong winds as a whole throughout the day, but with a particular storm moving through, you could get even stronger winds than what this wind forecast is showing. Now, also, the Weather Prediction Center does have us in the pocket for marginal risk for flash flooding. Some of these storms that will move through will just have a lot of moisture with them and dump a lot of rain, and that could be a leading cause for flash flooding across the area as well in some local places. So not only looking at localized strong winds, but localized flash flooding and also the potential for a few isolated tornadoes on tomorrow. So that's the case tomorrow. A few showers lingering in the morning. Drier for your Friday, and the weekend is expected to be cooler. Now, a cold front will cross the area Saturday, and that's why we have a small rain chance on there, but that front should cross mostly dry, but you can see it does invite cooler air into the Triad as Sunday's temperatures fall below 60 for the afternoon and struggle to get out of them. So we're looking at cooler weather after your Thursday.
All right, we're going to try this again here to see if it goes. It is National Goof Off Day, in case you didn't know, a day to remember to have a little fun. And Blanca's with us right now. She has a master's degree in psychology. And I guess the first question is, do we really need a national day to remind us to goof off?
Yes, for some of us, we really do need a day to remind us. Why? Because we have so many responsibilities of adults, whether it's paying bills and raising kids and taking care of elder parents or problems that we have at work or with friends. It just weighs us down. And when you get weighed down, you don't enjoy life as much. So life isn't only about surviving, it is about enjoying and living. And so that National Day of Goofing Off is a nice reminder just to let loose.
You know, I would think that there might be some health benefits to this, cause positive thinking and that type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you are goofing off and acting silly and having fun, you're decreasing your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. Your stress decreases. You're going to smile more. You're going to laugh. You're going to be more happy. And one is an added benefit that a lot of people may not even realize is that if you're concentrating on something that's really heavy and you take like a break from it, you can become more creative when you're having fun. It's almost like if you listen to music or you go watch a movie, you're taking a break from your reality for a little while. And then when you come back to it, you tend to be more creative when you're looking at situations in your life.
You know, Blanca, you say that this goofing off and that type of thing can actually help you socially. How does that work?
Absolutely. When you own your goofiness and your quirks and your idiosyncrasies, people are going to look to you and you're going to be more relatable because they're going to be like, wow, that looks like fun. Or I want to be with that person because they seem very likable. They seem very warm. They seem very friendly. They're not taking themselves or their life very seriously. And then what happens? Like likes like. We're going to be attracted towards people who make us feel good, who make us happy. And then if we can let loose our own goofiness, I mean, that's a win-win. That's a common bond right there.
It's such a show of confidence when someone's not afraid to be silly in front of other people.
Absolutely.
It's very
well said,
true.
Eric.
All right, thank you, Blanca. You can continue the conversation with Blanca right on her Facebook page. That is Blanca Cobb, body language expert. We'll be right back.
This is the season the Viscount intends to find a wife.
You honestly just did that?
I believe I did.
Yes, it's Lord Anthony's turn to find love when season 2 of Bridgerton debuts this week. The series is set in Victorian England and it follows 8 wealthy siblings as they maneuver through scandal and romance. You can catch it this Friday on Netflix, and creators promise twists, turns, and tea with one tagline in mind: love never plays by the rules. I love this series. If you have not seen it yet, it's definitely worth binge watching. I mean, the costumes are great. It's a great love story, and there are some fine people in there. Some beautiful castmates. I'm kind of sad for those who do watch. Duke Simon will not be in this upcoming season because the seasons are based on books that follow the lives of each sibling. So the characters might change this time around.
Is it how far in, or is this like?
This is season 2, so
okay,
it came out during the last year sometime, and you can binge watch it probably in a day. I think there's about 7 or 8 episodes.
It's not bad. I haven't watched that. I'm in between everything right now, so Ozark, Yellowstone were 2 of my favorites. I've already caught up on all that, but I'm behind in my Marvel world because I didn't see the Eternals yet, and I'm still behind on a couple of the other things in Marvel.
I was watching Inventing Anna. I just finished that. It's on Netflix as well. And then previously I was watching All Rise, which is like old CBS show, but they started to continue to film during the pandemic.
Really?
And they tried to do the whole show on Zoom.
Interesting.
Really?
Yes.
Was it still good quality?
It was, but at the same time, I just felt like I was always at work when I was watching
Oh,
it because
yes.
it was on a Zoom call. Like it was actually really well shot and creative, and granted the times they had to do what they had to do to continue to have the show, but I just thought, I just wish they were back in an actual studio and doing it versus being on Zoom.
I could see that working because if you've ever seen the show Catfish, or they have a show called Ghosted, which is kind of like Catfish too, they were able to do those episodes through Zoom throughout the pandemic. Instead of meeting the people at their houses to talk to them, they just talked to them over
So
Zoom.
they were answering on Zoom?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, so that's how I'm like, it still seems kind of scripted, but it was still entertaining to watch, and it wasn't as juicy as the ones that were in person. It was kind of like, oh, okay, these people wanted to be on TV,
Right.
but it is possible to have shows via Zoom.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I just wasn't a fan of it.
I'll have to check that out.
I agree with you. That would make me feel like I'm at work.
Yeah.
If I was to
And I
hear,
need y'all
if
to
you hear
watch-
that same sound, the ringing of the Zoom call and all that. Yeah, no. All right, take a break. We'll be right back. Stay there.
Got to get y'all watching Bridgerton.
That's right. Hi everybody, good afternoon. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric, Monique, and Lauren with you today.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 4 to 5. As Eric said, here on WFMY News 2, we're on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app, and we're also on Facebook, so make sure you come join the conversation.
Beautiful weather for the last couple days. That could change as we head into tomorrow though, right?
Yeah, it looks like this camera's a little shaky.
A little
little bit
windy,
of a sign that our winds are starting to pick up today. We're going to see that increasing till tomorrow.
All right, Monique, we'll check in with you a little later, but first, let's get to developing news on those high gas prices and a new plan lawmakers have to offset it. Right now, we know two things to be true. There's a major war happening right now in Ukraine, and it's driving up gas prices here across the U.S. We also know Russia is responsible for about 10% of our fuel supply, and as retaliation for their attacks, the U.S. is not accepting their oil imports. While most Americans understand the situation at hand, with no end in sight to this war, many are in need of some relief. The national daily average has been more than $4 per gallon for 2 weeks now, but there could be some help on the way. House Democrats proposed 3 bills aimed at sending direct payments to Americans to help cover high gas prices. Dr. Scott Simpkins is the chair of the economics department at North Carolina A&T. He says the proposals follow similar guidelines to last year's COVID-19 stimulus, with some differences though.
So people are feeling the pain of this rapid and significant increase in gasoline prices, especially those who may be on fixed incomes, low incomes, similar to the kinds of relief efforts that were put forward to deal with the COVID epidemic and to help ease the pain of people who may have lost jobs or out of jobs, caring for children, et cetera, during that period of time.
One proposal would send energy rebate checks to Americans like the third stimulus payment, so $100 per month for individuals or $200 to couples, plus $100 for each dependent. This would be for each month the national gas price exceeds $4 per gallon. A second proposal does not use the national gas price average as a measuring stick, but calls for households to receive a monthly advance tax credit. Similar to last year's monthly child tax credit, this money would come from taxing oil companies. The size of the payments to Americans would be based on how much money is raised by that tax. And then this third proposal also targets big oil companies. This bill calls for quarterly payments to Americans who meet the same income thresholds. Makers of the bill estimate single filers getting $240 per year and joint filers receiving $360.
The question is, when do those tax credits, when do those stimulus checks end if gas prices come down, for example? And so the question is this a temporary increase in prices of gasoline, or is it something long-term? And the answer to that question may determine what the best policy response is.
For a full breakdown of the proposals, look for this story on our website. So what are your thoughts on all this gas
So
stuff?
I don't have a problem if they're taxing oil companies. I don't have a problem with that. And the reason is President Biden said recently that the crude oil barrel prices had dropped, but the big oil companies aren't passing those savings down to customers yet. And he thought that was not a good thing. So I don't have a problem with them taxing oil companies. I don't think the government should just give us money because gas prices are high, because our economy is reeling already. And with all the stimulus checks and all that, money has to come from somewhere. We don't just make it. And so that's what I worry about for our budget. But if they're taxing the oil companies, that's fine with me.
I like what Dr. Simpkins brought up as far as like temporary versus like long-term. Is this just a short-term solution? But if this is something that's going to be, you know, the gas prices are only going to be up for like a couple months, is it something that we actually need? So.
And we've already seen a little bit of drop, right? So
yeah,
if that continues,
it is.
then
It's still above $4, but we are starting to see
that's good.
It plateau out and, you know, kind of go down a bit.
We'll keep you posted on all this, of course. All right, let's turn now to the war in Ukraine. Right now, fighting is ramping up with desperate requests for medical aid there. We have some video of doctors clearing rubble at their damaged psychiatric hospital in a Ukrainian city. Officials say 3 people died when Russian missiles slammed into that building on Monday. Despite the relentless attacks, Ukraine's defense says it's retaken the city, preventing Russian troops from surrounding the capital. New satellite photos that does show the magnitude of the destruction. While thousands have died, even more are on the ground, cut off from food and other supplies. As the war drags on, the Biden administration now warning of a possible Russian cyber attack. That's here in the U.S. We are digging into those concerns and how you can keep your family safe. That's coming up at 5:45. All right, right now we're going to talk about our forecast and see what's happening there. We've got some weather tomorrow that might be a problem, Monique.
Yeah, we already were seeing on our high point cam some of those winds picking up with the camera being shaky. This camera in Burlington, you can see those flags waving there. They're not really upright, but they're waving. And a couple of days ago, they were just flat. So we're seeing those flags wave there, showing you that the winds are already starting to pick up ahead of this active weather day on Wednesday. So the current temperature is 72 degrees. That's another precursor. Our temperatures are warming up. Yesterday we were in the 60s, so those are two signs. We got clouds, we're getting winds picking up, and we're seeing warmer temperatures. So you can see some of those clouds kind of pushing in, not really a full-fledged cloudy day, but you're already starting to see the outer edges of what this area of low pressure and associated fronts are leading out ahead of it. So as mentioned earlier in our 4 p.m. newscast, we had some tornado warnings with them. We're now 35 minutes into our show. We're still seeing those tornado warnings as well as severe thunderstorm warnings. When we talk about how will the day pan out, so we're starting out in the morning with mostly showers, not until the afternoon where that strong severe storm likelihood increases, and so do those temperatures. It will also be a cloudy, muggy day as well. We're getting a very warm and moist air mass that's going to move into our area, so it may feel just a little bit stickier too when you walk out the door, kind of very similar to a late spring summertime feel where it feels very warm and sticky. So we're talking scattered, isolated showers and storms, meaning not widespread rain where everyone's going to be seeing it at the same time. Folks on social media always have the biggest question, what to do and when, and this is exactly kind of breaking down the difference between watch and warning. I always like to go over this just ahead of any severe weather event because it's really important that you know the difference. Warning, whenever you hear warning, whether we're talking severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, it means act now. Get into your safe place, and in fact, when you're in a watch, you should already be constantly looking at your alerts to make sure if a warning does happen to get issued, you are already well aware of what's happening in your area. So a severe thunderstorm watch or tornado watch, whatever have you, any watch throughout the spring season, it's important to know that a watch means that there could be something that could happen within that time frame before that watch expires. But a warning means something's happening, you should take action. Now, we're not saying that that exactly will occur for Wednesday, but the environment is setting itself up to pan out that we could potentially have some severe weather activity throughout the afternoon on Wednesday, on tomorrow. So it's going to be a warm, muggy day with some strong showers and storms. And just want to remind you continuously to stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close by and easy to download from either your Apple or Google Play Store. You'll have the latest weather updates right in the palm of your hand once you do so.
I'll bet you know what I'm talking about when I say this. Glass slipper, royal carriage, but ballet shoes? Yes, that's exactly what you'll see. A special Cinderella show this weekend at the Carolina Theater in downtown Greensboro. I spoke with Megan Cope of the theater to get the latest on the show that's set for this weekend.
Let's go ahead and take this out. This is on line set 25, I believe.
All right, Megan, I am excited because anytime you bring Cinderella to the stage, and a big stage like here at the Carolina, I mean, this is a big deal this weekend.
It is. We're super excited. The Greensboro Ballet is bringing Cinderella to the historic Carolina Theater stage after a couple years of our original planned date. Here we are, we're ready, and we're excited to see all the families down here.
Wes, you got that seat, Rich?
I know when we first came in, they're working to get the sets all. I mean, this is pretty big sets that they're doing here. It's not a small performance.
It's load-in day. I mean, the sets are beautiful. I saw a gorgeous carriage back there that I might want to come ride in later. But I think that everybody's going to be really blown away by the production this weekend.
You just want to drop your slipper and then get in the, yes,
I do,
exactly.
I do. My point shoe.
That's right, that's right. Oh yeah, let's talk about that because this is Greensboro Ballet. It's not your normal Cinderella play.
No, this is the Greensboro Ballet's full production. It's dramatic, it's funny, it's romantic, it's perfect for the whole family, from lost slippers to handsome prince to, of course, a beautiful young lady who's shining from within and
Absolutely.
ready to follow her destiny.
It's a big cast, right? Because when you have a ballet, it's a company, not just a few principals.
It is. Greensboro Ballet has been working on this for a while now, and I'm excited to see everyone. I heard that we have some numbers that have as many as 20 dancers on stage at a time, so we'll be ready to watch those pirouettes carefully from a safe distance in the audience.
When you say safe, we're glad that everybody's back now, right? This is in full-blown performance here. So very excited. Thank you for talking to us today. This is perfect.
Mic check, Jalen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that Michaela back there? How you doing, Michaela? All right.
Basketball players across the Carolinas are putting on a show. Last night, the Lady Tar Heels secured their spot in the Sweet 16 when they toppled Arizona 63-45.
Yes, the team's first Sweet 16 since 2015 and 18th in program history. These women put in the work, and it's definitely worth celebrating, that's for sure. Just take a look at this video and these images. Yeah, everybody's very excited. Look at that, smiles all around. Yeah, you got to douse the coach with water. That's what you do. That's what you do when you win. Like
I love it. I love it.
That's a big deal too. I mean, we're bringing Jalen in on this, but that was you know, for the women, they weren't as highly ranked as NC State, and they're showing up. You know.
Oh, they're balling out, man, and it was so amazing to see. I've kind of watched them. Well, not kind of. I've watched them a lot this year, and I've known they had two players, Kennedy Todd Williams and Deja Kelly. Between those two ladies, they can make anything happen. But here in the Hoop State, our teams, they're living up to that name. In the Bridgeport region of the women's tournament, #1 seed, the NC State Wolfpack, they're looking to make their first Elite Eight appearance since 1998. Then there's Deja Kelly and the Tar Heels, who are looking for their first national title in 18 years. And over on the men's side, the Duke Blue Devils, they're looking to send Coach K off, riding off into the sunset with a 6th national title. But if Coach Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels have anything to say about it, they'll be the ones holding the trophy in 13 days.
Whatever happens on Friday or remainder of the season, this is a great chance and this is a great opportunity. And I've always told them about how to be thankful and how to be appreciative of the opportunities that you get and make the most of it. And so for this team, what is it, 14 out of the last 17 in the Sweet 16? Like this is a time of joy and celebration and confidence. This is not a time of being scared and nervous.
That's right, Coach. There's no time for nerves in March. And all 4 of our local teams will be in action starting this Thursday. Duke and Texas Tech, they'll get things started at 9:39 p.m. right here on WFMY. Then on Friday, the Lady Tar Heels, they'll take on the tournament's #1 overall seed, the University of South Carolina, at 7 p.m. And that game will be right down the road at the Greensboro Coliseum. Now off to Saturday morning, NC State, they take on ACC foe Notre Dame for the right to go to the Elite Eight. And how can we forget the UNC men's who play on Friday as well right here on WFMY.
Well, we absolutely love March Madness in North Carolina, and I'll bet you know your favorite NCAA tourney moment without even thinking about it. I want to ask Jalen just real quick. Do you have one?
I got 2 for you.
2.
Okay.
Right, so 2008, it was Kansas versus Memphis.
I know this
Derrick
one.
Rose, Mario Chalmers. Derrick Rose on the free throw line. 2 seconds left. He makes 1 of 2. Kansas calls timeout. Mario Chalmers, buzzer beater, send the game to overtime, and then Kansas goes on to win.
I love that
And
one.
this next one is going to hurt your feelings, Eric.
Oh, no.
26
I know what it is.
2016, man.
Yep.
Probably one of the greatest games in college basketball
It
history.
was, though.
What, Carolina down 3, Marcus Page with an unbelievable shot that really gets
double
double pump fake, right?
Yes.
Come on. Off the glass, too, right?
Yep.
And then, with what, 3-4 seconds left,
4,
here comes
yep,
Nova
4. It's
and Chris
horrible.
Jenkins with the little dribble handoff. 3, broke your little Carolina blue heart. I know.
Roy Williams said, he goes, as soon as it left his hands, I knew it was going in.
Oh, I think the whole world knew as soon as he let it go.
That was crazy. And see, I didn't like Villanova because they beat us in '88 when I was in college, and that was my last shot as a senior for us to do anything. So I was like, oh, next week. We got it the next year, 2017.
Hey, you came back, exactly. Redemption story.
All right, I asked you on Facebook if you had famous moments, and boy, everybody loved this. Tina said, when Lehigh beat Duke, that was a 15 beating a 2, if my memory is correct there. Jeff says, for me, 91, when Duke avenged a 30-point loss to UNLV in 90 by winning 79-77. Karen said, when NC State won that championship in 1983. That was crazy. Bob Campbell says, got to be 82. Jordan's game winner there. Though Rick Fox's last-second shot to beat Oklahoma in 1990 was a close one. Chad Riddle says, watching during class in high school. He loves that. And then Robert said, all of UNC's national championship. So I know, Lauren, you don't follow it that closely, but the buzzer beaters are so much fun to watch.
You know, I'm just here for the viewing party.
You know one
for
I
the
forgot
chips
too?
and the salsa.
Which one?
UMBC 16-1 when they beat Virginia. What was that? 2018 now?
Beat them 20 points.
They blew them out. The game was never close.
Yeah, it was 74 to
The first
50.
time
Lauren
the
doesn't
16
like
ever
it.
beat the 1.
You remember Florida Gulf Coast?
Ooh, that was a good run,
Those guys could dunk like nobody's business.
It's unbelievable, man.
Was that a 15? Were they 15?
I think they were the first 15 seed to actually win.
Yeah, I think. They got.
And then we've had 2 more since then because we had St. Peter's this year, and then there was.
Look, they're playing music like the Oscars for us to be quiet.
It's time for us to go.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Hey, am I first up on this one? Do I need to get in? Oh. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, so the snoring may be a little much, but the after lunch, mid-afternoon sleepiness, it is a thing, is it not? How many of you have ever put your head down on the desk or wanted to?
Yep, done it.
Come on,
I
at
take
least
naps
one
in
or
my
two.
car.
You take
Yes,
naps in your
yes.
car.
Yeah, I do that too.
Okay, so it's no secret, I am a coffee drinker, not just in the morning, but in the mid-afternoon as well. It is the dip time, okay? So according to one poll survey, coffee drinkers have the most drive to start the day, but then only 29% keep the steam going when the clock changes to mid-afternoon. 41% of tea drinkers say they can stay motivated well into the evening. And get this, those who just do the H2O, meaning plain old water, boasted the best night's sleep and alertness. What do we think about this, friends?
I'm water all day, every day.
You water all day, every day.
All day, every day.
She drinks that gallon
I've seen
jug.
that thing she brings
Yeah.
in. She leaves like a cart to pull it in.
Yeah, it is a big
Thing's huge.
So water seems to be the key pick-me-up and the best night's sleep at the same time.
I need that then because I sleep horribly.
Yeah, I don't drink enough water, not as much as
don't
I
either.
need to. I couldn't get through the gallon jug because you remember I was trying
Lauren
to do
and I
that.
talk about it at our desks all the time. Can't do it.
It's a lot of water. All right, I went looking for other pick-me-ups and I found this on healthyliving.com. A 2013 study from the University of Toronto found taking a break during lunch can increase, or not taking a break, increases your fatigue and unproductivity. So you need to take a break, friends. And what should you do? Well, they say that you need to either maybe take a walk, right, to get your blood pumping, eat lunch outside. Nature is a healer for sure, right? Then they say maybe you look at pics of your pet and think of playing with them or petting them later on, because that's kind of a pick-me-up. Chew gum, they say it increases mental stimulation, but only do that for 15 to 20 minutes because then they say your productivity falls after that, who knows. Listen to your favorite tunes, you know, one or two that gets you all jazzed up, puts a skip in your step. Drink water. Seriously, sometimes you're sluggish, they say, because you're dehydrated. So,
make sure to drink your water always, but you can also enjoy nice weather to take a long walk outdoors this weekend behind this active weather system that's expected to sweep across the southeast, already producing a lot of damage well to our south and east. And this cold front's going to cross right after much of that activity and bring behind it cooler, much drier weather for the end of the week and start to the week. So the Storm Prediction Center has us, including Georgia, South Carolina, in a slight risk for severe weather for your Wednesday. And again, I just want to reiterate some of the key things related to this storm threat for your Wednesday. Mainly looking at 1 to 7 p.m. for the severe threat to be more increased. Rain in the morning, but the storm, strong and severe, more likely in the evening. And we're talking isolated storms. So not everyone's seeing the same thing, but some folks could get something nasty. That's the main picture here. Damaging wind gusts, and also can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado. The main things for you to do now is to have a plan, know your safe place, and have some way to access resources to warnings as we go throughout the day tomorrow. So again, painting that picture with the Futurecast, see the rain starting out early in the day, and then the storms kind of move through very isolated through the late day. The 7-day, once again, like I said, you can go for that walk this weekend and allow for that leisure time outside as those temperatures are going to be cooler but drier. That active weather moving out quickly through your Wednesday and giving some rain for the early part of your Thursday. But as we go for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are mostly dry and cooler. And the start to next week, staying cool as well.
$10 million will soon be invested in Greensboro thanks to a federal grant. The money will go towards workforce development.
Dog 2, boy dog 2, boy dog 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hi, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland,
Yo, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. I just sent Lauren a text about the scam text.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check 1 2 1 2 3.
Hello, Claire. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check 1 2 3 4.
It's time for my 2 cents. While shopping recently, I noticed many of the clothes in the young adult section looked like they were straight from the early 2000s. The bucket hats, this lime green sweater, and even low-rise jeans. I felt like I had hopped into a time machine and went back to middle school, watching Lizzie McGuire on Disney Channel, shopping at Limited Too, and wearing Lip Smucker's lip gloss. All you millennials know exactly what I'm talking about. It's funny how fashion trends seem to come and go. Things I never thought would be cool again are now what a lot of teens are wearing. And don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that Uggs are back in style again and I could pull out my old pair from high school. But you'll never catch me in a pair of low-rise jeans ever again. While it can be great to keep up with the latest fashion trends, I think it's so important to adopt your own style. Clothing is a way to express yourself, to feel good about yourself, and to make a statement. Wear clothing that makes you happy. And hey, maybe it's not a bad idea to keep all those uncool clothes because you never know when they may come back into style again. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.
Get ready to find a new job. There are lots of job openings as we move out of the pandemic.
Gas prices are still over $4 throughout North Carolina. What lawmakers are proposing to reduce the pain at the pump and how much it might actually help. Plus, Guilford County health experts are hoping a new program will help cut down on overdose deaths. You can get an overdose reversal kit.